Welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I kind of want to try a pick a card. I don't know. I just kind of want to try it on, see how it fits, see how it goes. So of course, any feedback is greatly appreciated. So we have 3 piles here to choose from. The intention here, and when I was shuffling the cards, is I was asking, what message do you need to receive right now? Like, what would be a message that would be beneficial for you? So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. We'll get started. Hi, pile 1. So, we'll get started here. I'm probably just going to lay out all the cards first, and then we'll kind of get into it. The only card that I have a book for is the Black Moon Astrology cards, because I am still learning astrology, so I'm going to reference the book. And I haven't seen most of the cards. Some of the cards flipped over when they fell out, so I did see some of them, but anyway, let's go. So we have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Well, damn. Just going right in. I love it. Gates of triumph. Success expands in your life. Well, you're going to be successful at it. Beginnings. Absolutely beautiful. I love that card. Let's see how we're going to situate all of these. We have tarot cards. We have Leo. I will. Leo is also represented by the Sun card. So again, you know, it seems like there's major healing going on and success as well. You guys actually, so these, my cousin actually gave me these cards from her boutique. Her boutique is Love Harper Boutique. You can find her on Instagram, or if you're in Colorado, she has a shop at the Barn in Castle Rock. But anyway, I don't know specifically who. I'll Google it before I post the video anyway to see if I can find the actual name and author. Excuse me. So I already know all of the answers to my questions. I just need to listen to my gut. I doubt my doubts. And I am love. Beautiful. Wow. Powerful. And look, who was I just talking about? We have the Sun, 7 of Wands, dang, 10 of Cups. I should have thought about the amount of space I have before I did all of this. It's fine. I know I've said many a times OCD. We have the 8 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. Absolutely. Holy crap. Well, we're just going to start over here because it just kind of seems like a storyline almost going on here. So again, you know, we have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So this says to me, of course, there's a major healing going on right now, or something that obviously you've been working on for some time, because it doesn't happen overnight. And ancestral patterns, I mean, this could be, if you have children, you know, this could be, you know, just disciplining and talking to them differently. you know, like showing encouragement, showing affection, having open communication, like explaining to them when they get in trouble instead of just, you know, saying no. And, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, you're saying no because, you know, like, not just because I'm your parent, but it's a no because the stove is hot, or because of the water is boiling, or because you could get hurt, or, you know what I mean? Or you could be deciding not to even have children. I don't know why, like, that was just the children thing was coming up for me. And I think just ancestral patterns, I think that just kind of triggered that with me. But even, you know, we have these figures here. So there could be just a long line of course, abuse, or manipulation type stuff in your family, and you're healing that. And I know that can be hard, of course, just because healing is hard. It's having to take a objective look at ourselves, but also, you know, the people who caused the problems in our lives. Not easy. However, you know, like, just by doing that, like, just by healing yourself, you do heal ancestral lines. It's almost like, you know, you kind of extend forgiveness to the people who came before you, because you understand, you know, you get to a point of understanding that they were doing the best that they could with what they had, the information that they have. And you're doing the best that you can with the information that you have, and obviously rewriting your future, because you see that, you know, how I was being, or how I am being currently, with all of my, like, up to this point, you know, all of the things that have happened in my life, all of the successes, the traumas, the heartbreaks, all of that has created this person that you are, right? And it dictates your decisions and how you interact in the world. And by healing that, you change and you start rewriting the future that you want, because then it's, you know, like, you're creating a future based solely on what you want, not what other people want, not, you know, like, expectations that were imposed on you by your parents or your guardians, or your community, right? You're like, no, like, I actually don't want those things. I actually want something completely different, and I'm going to start heading in that direction. And if you have been on this path already, it seems like you're coming up to, it's so interesting that both of these are doorways. So we have success expands in your life. So again, you know, like, there seems to be this pattern of success. So the more that you just kind of stick in this healing journey and kind of stand more grounded in who you are, who you want to be based on your own expectations, then, you know, opportunities start opening up for you, or start manifesting in your life, and for you to respond to, like, oh, is this something that is in alignment with me or not? And it's okay if it's not, you know. I think, like, and this kind of happened to me too, but, like, you know, things do, you know, kind of start showing up, and you're like, oh man, you know, that is close to what I was getting at, but it's not quite. And it's okay to say no to those things and wait for the actual thing, or even for it to get closer to the actual thing that you've been waiting for. So I just wanted to say that, because, like I said, I was kind of going through it myself. But, you know, we have this path here too, going towards the sun. We have the sun card down here also. We have beginnings. So this, of course, I mean, it can be, and I love this depiction too, because it's going from kind of this wintry scene to, and the doorway is to, you know, like the spring and, you know, beautiful meadow of flowers, right? Like, it's kind of coming out of the energy of things that just kind of like hold us back, you know. And I just kind of see this card as like, you know, those stories that like we tell ourselves, like the stories that we tell ourselves to kind of keep us at a certain level, you know, like that glass ceiling, like, you know, it's the stories that we tell ourselves to keep us under that glass ceiling, or the stories that we tell ourselves to just kind of sabotage what we're looking forward towards, or just, you know, like not actually walking through the doorway, right? And then we have Leo, I will. And I am going to just kind of read the book a little bit, because of course, you know, you could take it at like face value. I will do this. And you will. It seems, I mean, like I said, there's so much success on here that, you know, it's kind of like the message that you need to hear right now is that you are on the right path. You are the healing and things that you have been working so hard on, and all the dark nights of the soul, all of the, you know, rest, all of the restless nights, whatever it is, like, you know, that your path has been, it's all been for this success, like for this life that you absolutely deserve. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing. So let's see. Proud and strong, those born under the sign of Leo. Okay. I'm just going to read this. When the Leo card comes up in a reading, expect to be at the center of something and be recognized. It may be to do with awards and television appearances and conference or a public forum or any place where people gather. Your talents are about to be singled out for special recognition. Creativity should be part of this endeavor. Children or youth or the young at heart may figure in too. This is a time for standing out and making sure you are counted. Since Leo rules the 5th house, this card can indicate romance entering your life. Leos are ruled by the sun, like I said, and we have the sun card out here as well. Leos are warm and vital personalities. Okay. Yeah. So all of that, I mean, you know, again, like you could be changing course in your life, and, you know, like I was saying, you know, like you might have kind of had this story, or, you know, like the people in your life could have made you feel like you were too much or too vibrant or just too loud, too blah, 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 whatever too ... is, right? And so your whole life, you know, you've stayed small, you've maybe been more like just a little more quieter, you know, and that's all the stuff that you're getting rid of now, because, you know, like the world needs some people to be loud. The world needs those bright lights, right? Like just those people that vibrate all of this sunlight, right? And it seems like you were meant to do that. So, you know, I mean, like it said, like you could be even thinking about switching careers and wanting to get more into public speaking, like motivational speaking, just literally hit me on the left side of my head. You could be wanting to act. You could be wanting to be a comedian, you know, like you could be wanting to offer like coaching in some capacity, and all of that seems to be coming. And then we have, I doubt my doubts. I already know all the answers to my questions. I just need to trust my gut, and I am love. I mean, like I said, like this just even kind of seems like its own story in itself. Like definitely listen to your own authority, right? Like your own intuition should be the first thing that you listen to before anybody else's opinions. And I know that's hard to do, of course, but always try to come back to that. I doubt my doubts. It's like, I mean, you know, just getting to this point of like, where is this doubt even coming from? Like, is this mine? Or again, is this some conditioning that was placed on me from a guardian, my community, my siblings, whatever it is that created this doubt in me? And if it was, and most time it is, you know, from other people, then it's an opportunity to be like, okay, cool. You know, I know where that came from. It's not mine. So I'm going to kind of set it aside, you know, like get rid of it if you can. I mean, that's never my goal, is to get rid of things, but it's almost like, okay, I see you. I understand what you're saying. However, I feel in my gut like this is the right thing for me to do. So I'm going to follow that authority, and you can come with me if you want, but just be quiet. Like, sit in the back and just be quiet. And I am love. Like, again, you know, even just going back to, you know, with this doubt, like, you know, when the doubts come up, just even repeating a mantra, I am love, I am love, I am love, right? And then we have the 10 of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the Sun card. And again, you know, just, it kind of just reiterates like what I was saying up here about, you know, this is something that you have been in the process of for maybe an extended period of time. The 7 of Wands is having to stand your ground and be a little defensive. The Wands have to do with communication and action. So I always kind of see the 7 of Wands as people trying to insert their opinions and their judgments and their rejection, or, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, with the 7 of Wands, you're kind of standing there like, I'm blocking all this shit out. Like, nope, it's not mine. Again, going back to this doubt thing, like, it's not mine, it's yours. I know, you know, like what my intentions are, and I'm heading in that direction. 10 of Cups is literally the minor arcana card to the Sun. So it's interesting that we even have them both out. So it's like, here you are in the middle, just trying to, like hold on to your peace almost, right? Like, and I mean, it's working, you're doing it. This could also be, you know, I'm getting this like family feel from these cards, because the 10 of Cups has to do with family and community. And then we have the Sun card here, and there's a couple babies on here. So again, with this ancestral patterns and healing, it's healing old family stuff. And like I was saying, even with the kids, which is interesting. But you know, it's healing old patterns of behaviors and disciplines and ways of, you know, like treating children or raising them, right? That you've been working on reworking, like, you know, and healing in yourself, so that with your own children, you know, you can come from a place of being healed and open and vulnerable. Because girl, like, the vulnerability piece is rough. And, you know, like, especially if it's not something that was fostered in your family, right? Like, you have to like learn it on yourself or by yourself. And then we have the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords. So I'm just laughing because I think it's beautiful just kind of how everything is like coming together. You know, this could be your parents, like, I mean, literal, your father, your mother. You know, I mean, the King and Queen, it's just, you know, the energy of those, of that. But, you know, I mean, they're in the same suit also. And we have the 8 of Swords here. So they could be the ones that have just kind of been causing this like mental stress on you. You could be concerned that, you know, like what their opinions are going to be or have been, because you've been having to kind of stand your ground against them. With the 8 of Swords being on the Sun card, it feels like you're coming out of this energy. Like, it feels like, like you're taking the blindfold off. I know with a Leo card, it was talking about, you know, it could be romance. I'm spitting all over the place. So, I mean, you know, you could be a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo also. But or they could be, but if you're not in a relationship, this could be a relationship coming in also. And it's like based on nurturing and like, you know, like all of the resources that you need are there and you feel taken care of, and so do they, right? Like, because it's reciprocated. Beautiful. From ancestral healing to, you know, like success. I mean, good for you. I know it's hard. I know it's not the easiest thing to do. I see you, but it's paying off, or it will be paying off if you just kind of stay the course. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, Pile 1. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome. So we'll just jump in here. The only card that I do actually have the book for is the Astrology cards, because I am still learning these ones. So I'm just going to kind of take a quick peek at the book when we get there. So let's get started. We have protection, call back your power, cut cords, soul retrieval. Absolutely beautiful. We have fellow travelers, support is all around you. We have gratitude, last quarter moon. We have Virgo, I analyze. And these ones, so my cousin actually gave me this deck from her boutique. Her boutique is called Love Harper Boutique on Instagram. Or if you're in Castle Rock, Colorado, she has a shop at the barn. So I'll try to see if I can find the author of these and put it in the notes. But I stand in love. I choose to stand in love no matter what is coming at me. And then we have tarot cards. We have the Hermit. We have the Emperor, Queen of Cups, and the Fool. And then we have Strength, Wheel of Fortune, Four of Cups. Interesting. All right. So the first card, protection. I mean, there seems to be like a theme about, I mean, of course, just this first card about calling back your power, cutting cords, and soul retrieval. So clearly, like the message for you, you know, at this point in your journey is that there seems to be some things that you maybe need to let go of. Or maybe there's like also kind of some things that you're just maybe not seeing. I don't know why that message needs to be come a little bit clearer. So I'm gonna let that one fester, because I'm like, okay. Calling back your power, you know, cutting cords, it's so powerful to do. And you know, there's a few ways to do it. Even in this card, you know, they have their arms crossed up there, which is kind of, you know, like body language of kind of not accepting any more energy or wanting to, you know, just kind of block it off. So this could be like old relationships that you're trying to actually kind of, you know, like cut the energy from. Like maybe you're just kind of in this cyclical like pattern of kind of going back and forth with, you know, whether it's a romantic or a platonic relationship. It could be like work-wise, it could be kind of ending up or kind of gravitating towards the same type of job. and you're trying to, even kind of change the energy of that. But if you're not familiar with cutting cords, like I said, there's a few ways to do it, and it really just kind of depends on what resonates with you. Some people will literally just kind of picture scissors, and it, like they're cutting the cords around them, because the idea is that from our energy bodies and everybody else's energy bodies, there are these cords that attach us to people energetically. And the idea is then to cut those cords, so it kind of stops the energy between those people or those things, so that you can kind of like move on from them. I didn't really, so like I said, there's some people that, it's literally just kind of like imagining a cord, kind of coming from your body. I always kind of like imagine them as like phalanges. Like, it's not the best visual, but, just kind of cutting them. It's more than one it's more than one cord too, or it can be. And you just keep cutting them, right? Until the energy kind of dissipates. I wasn't really a fan of that. Because it just kind of felt like, you're cutting a cord and you're just leaving it out there to just kind of like snake its way back to somebody, or to somebody else that kind of has the same energy marker. Wasn't a fan. I also was in this cycle of like attracting people who had more narcissistic personality traits. I'm not diagnosing them as such. However, if the shoe fits, right? So, for me, what I ended up doing with one specific relationship, was I was laying in bed one night, and I kind of like fell into like a meditation, and I called the energy up of this other person and imagined me holding a ball. And actually, when I was laying there, I had my hands out, like I was holding a ball. And I imagined every single place that me and this person had ever been together. Every conversation we ever had, every apartment I had that this person had been in, the places where that person had lived that I had been in, right? Like, and I just started asking that energy to come back. And I just kind of imagined like my ball getting bigger, bigger, bigger as more energy was coming back. And I just, and I'm imagining it like little wispies, like, in Harry Potter, how, when they kind of do the memory thing, like, there's like little black wispies. That's kind of how I imagined it, except I imagined the color to be white. It could be whatever color you want it to be, really. But anyway, so like I just kind of, I just was kind of imagining like all of this energy just traveling up from whatever city they're in, whatever city these places were in, and just imagined it coming back to my ball. And my ball kept getting larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And after a while, when it got to a point where I felt like I had called back all of my energy that I could, like I was like nooks and crannies, like if it's in the corner of their house, just some random dusty ass corner, like, I want it back. I want all of it back. And so then when it got to a point where I was satisfied that all of it was back, I kind of set an intention for that energy to just be kind of cleansed of their energy, and just my energy to be present. And again, like when I felt like I was satisfied with that, and then I kind of like cracked the ball open and set an intention for my energy to re-enter my body from my heart chakra and go to wherever it needed to go, like, calibrate back into like my actual body. So I did that for a little while. I kind of sat in that and like just waited until I was satisfied with, my energy kind of being wherever it needed to be. And then I called up another ball of their energy, because not only do I want my energy back, but I want their energy out of my body. So I called up another ball. I think I used brown as the color for them. Like shit. And my intention was for all of their energy to come out of my body. So, and it was just like kind of the strangest thing. Like I was just like tingling all over, like just coming out from my crown, coming out from my mouth, like coming out from my, girl, it was coming out from everywhere. Because it was one of those type of relationships. So again, just allowing the ball to just kind of get larger and larger and larger, as their energy was coming out of my body, every nook and cranny. I mean, my pinky toe, from the very tip of my pinky toe, if it touched that person or their property, it's out. Like it had to come out. Like the very strand, every single strand of my hair, like all of their energy was coming out into this ball. Again, set an intention to cleanse the energy, and then I literally just chucked it back to them. And again, set an intention that it's their energy. If they want it, they can have it. And if not, it is cleansed. So I set an intention for it to kind of go up into the ethers and just be available to whoever needed cleansed, available energy. Sure as shit, literally the next day, that person called me, and I hadn't talked to them in a year or so, if not a little bit longer. The person called me. I wasn't going to answer the phone, but I was kind of like freaked out a little bit because I was like, holy shit, I just did this thing yesterday. So I answered the phone and I was like, what's up? And they were like, I don't know. I just kind of had a feeling to call you. And I was like, why though? And they're like, I don't know. I woke up with this feeling to call. So that's part of this protection too, and something I didn't realize would happen, is that when you do start cutting cords, when you do start calling back your energy and sending other people's energy back to them, they may try to reach out because people can feel that, like just energetically, people can feel when those cords are cut. So, like also kind of set up a protection either around yourself or just be prepared for that. And either, of course, like don't answer the phone, whatever, of course, like kind of go back into your tool bag of however you handle those situations. But again, just beware of that. And this is not something to be used as a way of getting somebody to contact you. Again, like I said, like we're not doing that manipulation shit here. Like that's not what this is about. I just want to throw that disclaimer out there because I would think about it. So anyway, this is literally for healing and to kind of, like I said, like cut that energy. And then we have fellow travelers, support is all around you. So, like it could just be, and, we have this group of people on here too. So this could be just really kind of leaning on your support system. Maybe even let them know that you're, if they're into the type of stuff, like maybe let them know that you're going to be doing this and you may need a little bit more support from them for just a short period of time to until, like you're recalibrated, or just until, this energy is just kind of like clear, right? Because it seems like you do have, or there would be support available to you that way. Gratitude, it almost kind of goes back to this protection thing. So it's almost kind of like, and there's like even an older card or an older hand on here. So there's always, like an invitation to give gratitude for, kind of these lessons that we learn, right? Or for this energy having been present in your life to begin with, to kind of, like teach you this lesson or elevate you, or, kind of do, and even just gratitude for the support system that you have. It could be that, once you kind of go through this process, starting like a gratitude list, like just recognizing where you were and having gratitude for where you are now. Like I was here and, you know, I was in this frame of mind. I was doing whatever this was over here. And now I'm grateful to be over here, like to have the wisdom that I do from going through this situation. And let me just see what Virgo says. It says, don't anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. It says Virgos are true worry warts. Most of the worry focuses on health, possible disasters, and any sudden change which they dread. This card also signifies a good time to get rid of your clutter. Yeah, so, and it says I analyze on here also. So, you know, I mean, just again, there seems to be just kind of like this story here. Like maybe you're even just kind of worried about like, not having this energy or like this presence in your life. But again, it's like this story of like going from calling your power back and, you know, really kind of, like I said, like leaning on your support system and finding gratitude for what you have gone through. And then even this, it says, I stand in love. I choose to stand in love no matter what is coming at me. So this could be just a difficult situation, of course. I mean, you know, it could have to do with family members. It could have to do with a romantic relationship, whether that be a marriage or, you know, some other union. And this could be hard to do. And there may be, with these two things, like there may just be some energy of like, it's like I can feel it in my body. I'm just having a hard time. It's like, you know, anger or something like coming from the other person. Like you're worried about their reaction to something. And that you're worried about like them maybe influencing your decisions. So, you know, again, it's like even just having the mantra, I stand in love. I choose to stand in love. And, you know, just kind of allowing that to even just ground you as much as it can. Because I know, of course, it's hard to do in these situations. If there is a situation that you are worried about, it's hard to kind of find your grounding in your own love and your own energy. And then down here we have the Fool, Queen of Cups, Emperor, and the Hermit. The Fool is, you know, I mean, it's taking a leap of faith, and just trusting that the path is going to open for you as you go, and it will. But it's just, you know, like trusting, kind of like, you know, trusting the universe to catch you, basically. And it always does. Then we have the Queen of Cups, who is very clear in the way that she feels. Like, she's also, you know, the cups, can be empathic. So, I think I mentioned earlier about like how I had always kind of gravitated towards more narcissistic type personalities. There's, you know, like a link between empathic or empaths and narcissists. You can Google it. But because I'm almost even just kind of seeing that link here, Not that the Emperor is a narcissist by any means. I'm just going to say, you know, like obviously the things that just kind of come to mind. But, you know, this could just be you making a decision to kind of start on a new path. And this is also like, you know, the Fool card is the card right before the beginning. So it's the decision to walk off the cliff, right? So it's all of the things leading up to it. So you could be kind of coming to this place of wanting to start a new beginning, getting your power back, really kind of working on like building up your courage or building up your power to change a situation. And with the Queen of Cups, it's just saying, you know, like your feelings are very clear about it. Your cup is full, and honestly, you're not even taken anymore. Like she has her hand on top of her cup. So it's like, no, I'm not taking any more outside shit. I'm following my own inner guidance. And then the Emperor card, like I said, you know, like I just kind of got that feeling about just kind of the juxtaposition between these two energies, how she's, you know, sitting in this throne and very kind of flowy, right? And then we have the Emperor with, you know, this fire back here and, you know, like, it may be difficult to come up against an Emperor, right? So if you're dealing with somebody or a situation that has the energy of the Emperor, then, you know, like, again, you know, you're working towards kind of walking away from that. And then we have the Hermit that talks about going at it alone, like being very introspective and also healing. But it's kind of following your own kind of path or creating your own path, like by your own light. This also is like, you know, there's always a light in the darkness also. So I always kind of see the Hermit card as like an invitation to just kind of hold on to that one speck of light if this is a dark time. But otherwise, the other message that I was getting from this too is that, like, you know, the Emperor is very discerning. Like the Emperor knows exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to do it. So, you know, like with the Fool being at the beginning here, you could have already made the decision because of how, you know, like just being very clear in your emotion. You're not changing your mind at all. Nothing's going to change your mind. And it's just kind of like going on this this journey by yourself to heal all of this, calling back your energy, like just really reintegrate it back into your own body and create this kind of new path. Like we have a couple keys on the ground here too. Like, you know, those didn't either open the door, or they, you know, like they're doors that you already opened, not a fan of. So you're moving on because it clearly he's still walking, right? And we have the Strength card, Wheel of Fortune, and the Four of Cups. Strength card, basically exactly what it says is just kind of, you know, finding the inner strength to kind of proceed. The Wheel of Fortune is, you know, like things are changing in your favor. And this to me is just saying that, you know, because you kind of made this decision and really called up all your courage, all your strength, whatever to do this, it changes the trajectory for you. And there's, you know, no longer are we focusing on these 3 cups that are empty. No, you know, like you're going to be offered this new cup, this new situation, this new path, which you're going to figure out on your own. Like it's going to be what you want it to be. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. All right. Bye, pile 2. Hi, pile 3. So we're just going to get into it. We have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, sending the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Beautiful. We have fear. We have crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. We have Cancer, I feel. I do actually have the book for this card, or for these cards, because I just, yeah. I'm just going to reference it really quick just to be sure that we're getting all the information we need. I get to live my life by my rules. I create my life. I'm going to try. My life is blessed. I treasure all of the blessings that surround me and are me. These cards, my cousin actually gave me this deck from her boutique. It's Love Harper Boutique on Instagram, or if you're in Castle Rock, Colorado, she has a barn, or she has a barn. She has a shop in the barn, Love Harper Boutique. Again, but I'm going to try to see if I can find the author, and I'll put that in the notes. Okay. And then we have 6 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 2 of Wands. We have 3 of Cups, the Star, and the Chariot. Okay. You are going somewhere. Just starting from the beginning here, it's just been so cool how all of the decks here, it just kind of seems to have a story. And also, it really kind of has this theme of major healing. And like the type of healing that like, you know, once you get to that point, it like changes your life. Excuse me. Which is absolutely beautiful, honestly. Like my heart is so full for you guys right now. So we have Anna, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I love this. I was just kind of looking at the card here. I love how, you know, this grandmother is just, you know, like it has this energy of just almost kind of protection and guidance is kind of what I'm getting. Like even just this light beam is just kind of like showing the way. But I also get this idea of you could have been traveling a lot. And maybe that's kind of like just opened your eyes to like different ways of being, like just kind of understanding that there is a different way to live your life than the way that you have been living wherever obviously you live. Because I mean, we just kind of have a couple different locations on here. And even crossing bridges, you know, like I just kind of get this idea of like, just almost kind of traveling. But, you know, this one says it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. And that's, you know, like these two together, you know, just laying foundations. And like I was saying, just, you know, when you go through like these major healing of yourself, you know, like then you just, it almost just kind of opens your eyes to like all these possibilities that maybe you weren't even aware of a few years ago, or even 6 months ago, or even a month ago, right? So that's why, like, I was just kind of saying, like, you could have been traveling, or even just like researching different areas, or you could have even been researching like different religions, and just kind of like taking bits and pieces from different religions as part of your healing journey. And it's almost kind of like, this invitation to kind of take what you learn and really implement it into your healing, to even like seeding the light, like this is kind of in the beginning stages, like laying foundations. That's, where you start, right? Is on a firm foundation. And we have the Fear card here. And I think this card is so beautiful. And I think it's just because black is my favorite color, as you can tell. But, like just this representation of fear, and how, it's just this energy that just kind of seems to be like all around us sometimes, and it just feels like it's caving in on us and kind of keeping us smaller, making us want to get as small as we can. So, like part of the healing journey is kind of coming out of that, like expanding, crossing the bridge from even this fear to, like, you see how even she's walking in the direction of the grandmother. So it's going from this place of fear, which is the number 11 on here, I just recognized, but going to, like, look at how even just the juxtaposition between these two images, right? Like we have all this kind of darkness and drab to all this like freedom and expansion and light, right? Like we even have the world back here. It's like, really, it's whatever you want it to be, your life, like you can seriously create whatever experience you want to have. And then we have Cancer, I feel. It says, rely upon the wisdom of what you feel right now. Cancers have a depth of feeling not easily seen, as if in the deepest part of the ocean, fathoms below the surface, but where there's great power. When the Cancer card presents itself in a reading, you can be assured emotions are high. You may want to withdraw, or you may be dealing with someone who is withdrawn or depressed at this time. There is a feeling of being connected to the unseen world, and this includes a world of ghosts and spirits. This card can indicate inherited psychic abilities and even witch blood. There is a typhoon of power behind Cancer's strong feelings. So that could be the fear, like, you could be wanting to, you could know about yourself that you have psychic abilities, and that could be causing this fear in you. Or you might even just be afraid of like your own power, right? Like, and it's kind of creating this fear about like, how are people going to react to it? What would I even fucking do with it anyway? Like, just kind of exploring the different options available. And again, there's this like invitation to whatever, these fears are, like, yes, you're feeling them, your feelings are 100% relevant, but it's like, maybe just kind of carry those feelings over the bridge with you and see what's on the other side, and see how your feelings change once you get over here. Because this kind of seems to be something that you want to do, and you're almost kind of fighting yourself about it, is like the feeling that I get with the tarot cards down here. Because we have the Two of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Six of Swords. The Two of Wands talks about choosing a direction, or like you know, kind of like choosing an action to take. But we have this guy here that, you know, he's kind of being a bit daydreamy, which is fine, but he appears to be, he probably thinks that he can't move because one of his feet is tied to this wand, and his hand is tied to this wand. So again, you know, just the situation in your life, or like the relationships in your life, you could just feel like you're between a rock and a hard place, basically, and you feel tied to both of them. So you're just not even gonna, like, you're not even going to deal with it at all. You'd rather just kind of, you know, like pay attention to this bird and be distracted. But really, he could literally untie himself from both of those wands and choose one, or you know, choose a completely different direction to go in. And it could also just be, it doesn't necessarily have to be like people, but you know, I mean, it could just be you know, like your career, or where you live, or again, you know, like I was saying with the travel thing, you know, like you could just feel limited in your options. So you're just gonna kind of keep yourself distracted. And then we have the Five of Swords, which is kind of like competition and conflict. But like, who are you fighting, right? Like, and here we have like some wolves, right? We have three swords down here. He's holding two of them. So like, to me, like this depiction is almost kind of like you're fighting yourself. And the swords have to do with our thoughts. So it's just kind of like this constant like internal battle of like, what do I do? Or what options do I think I have? Or, you know, even, you know, these wolves could even like represent intrusive thoughts. It could represent like anxiety, you know, like just kind of having to constantly, you know, almost kind of like defend yourself against your own intrusive thoughts. And then we have the Six of Swords, which talks about moving on. You know, we have a progression here. So it literally talks about moving out of this conflict and competition mode, like with your thoughts, and moving into like just moving away from it. But again, you know, the depiction of this card is that it's almost like you're being divinely guided. Because, you know, we have this old guy on here, like her eyes are closed, right? And she's just like, you know what? I surrender. Like this is either, you know, I always kind of see this as being like, this is what I want to manifest in my life. Like, this is the experience that I want to experience in my life, or this is a feeling that I want to experience in my life. And, you know, her eyes are closed and she's just like, you know, he's going to take me wherever he's going to take me. I've never even noticed that there's like these coins here. So again, you know, like I'm just kind of getting this idea of travel here through this whole like situation. So, I mean, there could just be a move coming up. There could be a move that you're contemplating, and it could be a big move. Like, you know, again, you could be thinking about moving countries. Because this feels, I mean, it very well could be if you're obviously like in the United States, you know, whatever, you know, it could definitely be like moving states. You could be wanting to move closer to water, even. Like there's obviously, like, you know, they're on the water. There's a lot of water in this card. Cancer is a water sign. There, water there. So, you know, like you could be wanting to get closer to the water, but again, this is just kind of like moving from a place of like not feeling like you have much of a choice to almost just kind of like surrendering to, you know, like I said, like, you know, we have this box of this is what I want to experience in my life. And I'm just going to hold on to that vision and allow myself to be divinely guided. Like whatever resources are needed, this person has it, right? Their eyes are closed. This person is taking care of it. And, you know, like, and by person, to me, it just kind of seems more like the universe. These are backwards. And then we have the Chariot, the Star, and the Three of Cups. Again, you know, the Chariot talks about movement and almost kind of like divinely guided movement forward. And even going along with what I was saying about moving, it is a larger move. But also, you know, the major arcana cards talk about, I always kind of call them the universe juice cards, because it is the energy that is present in our lives. Like it is the things that are literally happening to us, not just the energy of those things. Like the minor arcana, the wands are the energy of action and communication. The swords have to do with the energy of our thoughts and intellect. The major arcana cards are the things that are actually in our existence, and we can feel them directly. So, you know, like you could be, you know, you're sitting here on this stump and you could be feeling some pressure to move, you know, like, and I don't necessarily mean like move. I mean, again, it could be that, but you could just be feeling this pressure to get off this stump and make a decision on which direction you're going to head in. And then we have, you know, with this kind of internal conflict, competition, our thoughts thing, we have the Star card. So it's kind of like an invitation to shift your focus from even, you know, like just the difference between these cards. Like shift your focus from being in this kind of battle stance to being more in the flow, and put your trust in hope, because, you know, the Star card, it does talk about healing also. But it also just kind of talks about hope and just kind of having faith that things will work out to your greatest benefit. Like they are going to, whatever the situation is, like it's always going to work out for what your highest good, for in your highest good. So again, it's just kind of like, you know, this invitation to, and he's even looking back at this, is just kind of like the feeling that I'm getting, right? Like, maybe shift your perspective a little bit and trust that wherever you are being divinely guided, whatever this divine plan is, you're going to be happy about it. And, you know, the Three of Cups talks about community and like friendship and celebration. So wherever this destination is, you know, like you're going to find like your soul family there, or, you know, like your cup is going to be filled and then some. You know, like there's going to be people around you that fill your cup and you're going to be able to fill their cup, right? Like it's just kind of this circle of ooh, what's the word? It's gone. Anybody up there? Like, can you, the circle of, it's not life, but like, you know, like everybody just has what they need. Like, you know, the cups represent our emotions also. So, you know, like you're going to be content. Like your needs are going to be met. And then we have, I get to live my life by my rules. I create my life. My life is blessed. I treasure all the blessings that surround me and are me. Again, you know, like this could be totally out of the box. I don't know if I like mentioned it before, but you know, like it could be that you do want to make this kind of major change in location. And, you know, people may not understand. You might be afraid of, you know, like other people's opinions, your family, siblings, whatever, you know, and you really do get to create the life that you want. Like I was saying with this box right here, that's the life that you want. This is the experience that I want to have. This is the experience that I want to have. I want to feel you know, I want to feel part of my community. I want to feel you know, what it's like to have these this soul family around me, and I'm seen, I'm heard, you know, like I said, like my cup is full and I'm able to fill other people's cups. And then my life is blessed. I treasure all of the blessings that surround me and are me. Absolutely. You know, it's also kind of showing gratitude for the situation that you're in now. And, you know, just recognizing that wherever you are now has got, you know, like every situation has gotten you to where you are now, which is a blessing, regardless of, you know, like what it was. So, you know, when you're kind of moving from one thing to the other and you're starting to lay new foundations, you know, it's finding the gratitude for the things of the past and having gratitude for the things that are also coming in. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Bye.